he'd be like, you know, come see me, come see me. And I just didn't. Like, you know what I'm saying? And I was like, I know that a part of me, when he had told me that he had cancer, I was driving. Everything went black. My brain shut down. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's because of the relationship that we had. I don't even, like, I know I told you, I don't really have a relationship with men. Like, you know what I'm saying? So for him to infiltrate my life like he did, like, you know what I'm saying, put me up on game, spend time with me, like me and my uncle, we'd be talking sometimes 2 or 3 hours, like on the phone, like, you know what I'm saying, like that was my dog. And so I think, like, I told my mom, I was like, it's a void that'll never ever be able to be filled. Like, you know what I'm saying, I don't really understand I don't think she understands how deep that go. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I think when they told me that, I knew what the end result was going to be. And I think that I found out about myself, I don't process death well and losing people well. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I think I disconnected. And so every time, so I didn't go check on him as much. I didn't call. I didn't. And I was looking at him, I was like, why did I do that? Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, why? And so I'm like, and I told him, I was like, what I'm going to take from this is to be more conscious and be better about showing up for people in their time of need. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because I know about giving people their space, they can process their stuff, like, you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, like, they going through the shit. You ain't, like, you know what I'm saying? So it can't be no worse for you than it is for them, and they going through it, and then you leave people feeling unloved. Like, you know what I'm saying? You leave people feeling like, well, damn, you was there for me in my health, and you was there for me when it was all good, but now when I really, really need you, like, where you at? Yeah. Like, you know what I'm saying? So, just, you know, looking at that, and I was just like, damn. I was like, I gotta deal with that shit, man, because it really do need to be reciprocity in the energy and the exchange of, you know, how you doing, you know, giving and receiving that love, man. Like, for real.
I think that actually all of that, we were, you know, talking kind of behind the camera, the scenes. I think actually this is a good segue to go into valuing life and death, and how to take care of yourself and others during it. So that means taking care of people during life and taking care of people during death as well. So I think that's a good segue. This is the Human Experience. I'm Mann.
I'm Phoenix.
And so we were just, y'all caught us kind of in a conversation where we were talking about Phoenix's uncle just passed away recently. And tell us a little bit about the relationship that you have with your uncle.
He put me up on game, and like, he the reason why I got my LLC back in 2010. He was like, go down there, make sure, like, if you don't do nothing with it, he was like, make sure you establish yourself a business. And so he had just schooled me, you know. He came into my life, I was like maybe 22 or something like that. I remember I was staying over there on Parkview, so maybe like 22, like younger. And he had just got out of prison or whatever, and I connected with him like instantly. Like, he was just one of those dudes, like, you know what I'm saying? He wasn't really trying to come into my life and be like authoritative and I'm your uncle and all that. He just like really kicked it with me, like where I was at. And then he was very much, he was a family guy, so he always wanted to get together in the kitchen, crack jokes, like, you know what I'm saying? So I love that about him. He loved spending time with me and just taking me to meet his sisters that I didn't, aunties I didn't know I had, like, you know what I'm saying, his homeboys, or he'd call and kick it with me about, he was like, man, he was like, these bat head, like we'd laugh about, like, you know what I'm saying, just different women that we'll be dealing with, you know what I'm saying. I didn't really have that, like, you know what I'm saying, with a guy. And he was actually a guy that had some sense, like, you know what I'm saying, because a lot of dudes that I come across, like, I don't know, they just lost in the brain, man. So, so for me to be able to, like, kick it with a guy that has some emotional intelligence, like, you know what I'm saying, and he was on that higher conscious too, like, you know what I'm saying, type of conversation. So we just clicked, like, on a whole bunch of levels. And Yeah, man, like I'm telling you, it's just a void that's never ever gonna be able to be filled. Like, you know what I mean? He was just a cool cat, man. He just really was.
Yeah.
Everybody loved him.
We think about the, in life and in death, the conversations that we have. And I talk about death. I've always been the type of person to talk about death. I'm a Scorpio, so, death doesn't, I would say that it doesn't, I'm not afraid of it. I think the older that I get, though, maybe closer to it. And it's not that I'm afraid of it. I think I just recognize it a whole bunch now. When I think about it, like I'm 54 years old, right? When we think about like the average age, even if I made it to 80, that's like 26 years from now. This past year was over in 3 months. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So that time, you kind of like cut it in half because the time seemed to be going faster and faster and faster, mm-hmm. right? So we, sitting here and we thinking about what type of relationships that we want to have with people. And not that I want to base things off on the fact that, I might die one day, because literally we all might die one day. Mm-hmm. And so if we, kind of not always just keep that at the forefront, but keep that at the forefront of life, of how we want to be received in our death, how we want to, be received in our life. You know what I'm saying? What is it that you want people to get from you or from your experience here in life? So that when you are gone, not to say that, you just want people to miss you, but that you would have had some type of effect on somebody's life. You know what I'm saying? And so it seems like to me your uncle did well in that category with you. Like, in his life experience with you, that he imparted some things upon you that, in the fact that he's no longer here, you will always remember him and hold him up for that. So how is it that you want to be remembered thought of in your life?
I want to be able to be like foundation and pillar for my family. You know what I'm saying? And my loved ones. I want to extend it past family. I want to extend it, to my people, like to my friends, loved ones in general. Like, I want to be able to I really want to be able to be like that granddad of the family that
come here, Brian, some challenge for you.
That everybody know Big Daddy got it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that shit's so awesome to me. Like, to see, like, I seen my uncles do it. I seen my grandpa Foot do it. Like, you know what I'm saying? And I was like, when they died, it really was felt. You know what I'm saying? Like, the people that they had on their back really, like, they held them up. Like, they knew that they can count on them for stability. They knew that they can count on them, like, you know what I'm saying, to just have it, man. And then, two, not only to be able to carry you and be there for you, but help to uplift and help to elevate you. Because my whole thing is I want to teach people how to fish. I'm not going to be doing it for you. That shit going to tire me. I'm not going to do that. And also, you appreciate it more when life happened, like that I taught you this, or this information came through me, or that I didn't just let you cry and then I come to your aid. Like, right. You know what I'm saying? Do shit for you. No, baby girl, look, you about to get on my nerve. I'm about to teach you. You know what I'm saying? I'm about to teach you what you need to know so that you can teach your seeds. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And pass that down. So that's what I'm really like working on right now. Like, getting myself together so that I know that, like, dog, I want to have some big shoes to fill when I get up out of here, dog. Like, for real. And it's like, how can I position myself in order to be able to do that? Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. What about you?
Me, I think that what I want to do is to impart in my loved ones all of the imprint that is me. I'm not saying that they need to be me, but I want them to be able to feel me that when I'm no longer here. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I want to, like my grandchildren, I'm getting ready to have my you see the little diapers on
little there. Man.
Yeah. I'm going to try and have him for a month.
I'm going to try
and have him for a month. But I'm the type of person that I want to spend time, because I feel like children, not that just that they're like the future, but that if we can impart some things in the children that once they get to a certain age, they will already have these things. And I don't know that, I believe that I'm in my particular family to do this, you know. And so I want to spend the time with my grandchildren and actually, you know, impart some things, you know, how to meditate, because their parents, you know, are not that they're not into meditation and things of that nature, because I found all of this type of spirituality when my kids were grown. So although they grew up in church, you know, they now have different types of spirituality for themselves. It doesn't equate to what it is that I give or what I have or who it is that I am. So I want to impart some things into the children so that they are able to have a better life, for one, and to be able to grow within themselves and not be, you know, the kind of kids that are like following other kids, like they have their own mind. So I talk to my grandchildren and like, well, not my grandchildren, my great nieces and nephews. So like I spend a lot of time with them because I want them to have something. I want to impart something into them that they have not ever had before. I want to infuse certain things in them. So I talk to them. I have conversations with them. You know what I'm saying? And my granddaughters, you know, I'm not close with them. That's for some other reason, not due to my own. But I want to be able to have relationships with them so that when they're older, that they have this kind of tree, like this kind of foundation that is rooted within themselves. You know what I'm saying? So that's a level of spirituality. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. Like, does it make sense? Yeah, I love everybody and I want them to be financially set and all these different things, but to me, I just want to be able to impart something different within them. I want them to have a different imprint in their lives. That, you know, I believe that we grow up in villages, and each one of us in the village brings something different to the village. And so each one of the adults in the village should bring that certain thing that we have to our children. We should impart that to them so that they have different ways of thinking. They have different ways of seeing things, because they know in the village, this person is the foundational person for the finances. You know, this person is, I could talk to them about X, Y, and Z, whatever. Each one of us brings a specific gift to the village. And so if each one of us are imparting whatever that gift is into the younger children that are coming up, then they have a wide variety of gifts to choose from. You know what I'm saying? They have a wide variety of life and experiences that they can pull from, you know? And so I think that's very important. So, in my life, that's where I am.
It is. And just like piggybacking off of that, like Bobby, Wendell, my grandpa Dennis, like my auntie, like they all did that, what you want to do for your grandchildren, for me. Like, you know what I'm saying, whether it was astrology book, whether it's you know what I'm saying, lightly push me in that direction, like, and it's really served great purpose, like, in my life now. So that is important. Like,
and you're well-rounded.
Yup. Real, very well-rounded because of, like, them. Like, you know what I'm saying? And especially, like, you did hit on something like, you know, don't put all your energy into, people gonna find their own way. Cause we was born to, if not thrive, the basic minimum survive. Like, you know what I'm saying? So, you gonna get money, you gonna, like, you're gonna do that part. Like, you're gonna figure that part out. But, yeah, that extra, you know, just that stamp of spirituality, definitely do need it, you know.
When you think about all the people in this life who, and I'm right now in my mind, I'm thinking about Twitch, who just killed himself. You know what I'm saying? And how he was doing all these different videos, dancing. You could look. I kept trying to look into his eyes on those videos to see if I could find like a hint. And a lot of times you don't. And if we're not really paying attention to people, or we're not really giving people, and I'm not even just people. I'm talking about children. If we're not giving them some type of psychological balance, because the world is going to try and fuck them up. just
Definitely.
off rip.
Yeah.
If we're not giving them some type of foundation to help them to be able to mentally be prepared for certain things. And I'm not talking about, some people be, and that's their gift. Some people will, prepare their children for life and give them a harder life. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So that when you out there, you be prepared for it. Yes. But then we also need to be showing them love, and we need to teach them about love. We also need to be teaching them mental health,
Yep.
lessons. We need to be, instilling in them how to deal with certain things, because a lot of us have not been taught that, and we get out into this life and we can't survive it.
Yep.
Yep. We can't survive it, no matter, I remember, and I'm just going to be real honest. This is a space for it. We always try and make this a safe space. Coming up, I always wanted to kill myself.
Mm-hmm.
Constantly. That was constant thoughts on my brain.
Mm-hmm.
Was suicide.
Mm-hmm.
All the ways I could do it. Do it. You know what I'm saying? And had I not, and most of it was that because I knew who I was. And I didn't think who I was like I was supposed to be that. You know what I'm saying? And so it weighed heavy on me as a teenager. And
like
so,
as far as sexuality?
Yeah.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
So if I would have had somebody who would have said to me in my younger life that I see you. Like I see you. And it's okay to be you. You know what I'm saying? Then I think, that I wouldn't have dealt with it in the ways that I was dealing with it in my mind. Some people can't handle that, and they end up actually killing themselves. You know what I'm saying? And and look where I am right now. If I would have cut my life short, like I would have missed a relationship with you, I would have missed like all these different things because I didn't know that I would have had a better future that was coming. You know what I'm saying? And so I believe that we have to really teach people, as children, begin to teach them how to deal with stuff. Not just, how to fight in life, but also how to mentally fight in life. You know what I'm saying? This world is can be very crazy. It can be very chaotic. And if we don't teach them how to deal with the chaos and the craziness that happens, they're not going to make it.
Yep. Two things. Speaking to the Twitch situation, I remember I was talking to Nkanga, and she had said one day, if a person is chasing something real heavy, they're running away from something else. Like, you know what I'm saying? And so you got these spiritual people who just, you don't know their inside story. Like, you know what I'm saying? They appear to be elevating, but why are you trying to elevate so fucking hard? Like, you know what I'm saying? Because you probably was a toxic ass nigga. You probably was toxic as hell, like, you know what I'm saying? Or like just even speaking to, thank you. Even speaking to what you said, like, you chase spirituality, but not, I don't know if this is what you were actually doing, but just a person who think about, suicide or death all the time, like, let me go read an affirmation, let me go listen to a binaural beat, let me go do something of high frequency so that I can really stop these lower vibrational thoughts that want to make me end my life, you know what I'm saying? And you project that, and you don't have safe spaces where you can be like, I'm thinking about creating suicide. Contemplating. I'm contemplating. Don't create suicide. Like contemplating suicide, and you don't have people to tell you, you know what I'm saying, I can see you or whatever. It's like that's all you got is those affirmations. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because a friend of mine, brother, jumped in the Detroit River. He was I think Blair, he was 18 at the time or something, but he was LGBT, and his family wasn't so receiving of that. Like, you know what I'm saying? And when you get pushed out and abandoned from your family because of who you are, you pushing you getting pushed out by the people that you love, just the rocks that you knew, and then now that make you push yourself away from yourself, and and he couldn't handle it, and it's like, damn. Like, so it's very, like, imperative to have those spaces in those people in your life, and like you just planting seeds in them babies. I love you, like, you know what I'm saying. Be you, be your authentic self. I'm right here, like, you know, and telling them, get some people in your life, get some friends that you can go to, like, you know what I'm saying, to be able to and be that for other people, because them conversations is not. They not. I don't. I've never. They're not being had. They not. Like, they're really not being had.
They're not. They're really not. I think people we all assume, and I'm just going to gather that we assume that, you know, people have whatever it is that they need. We have to stop assuming. You know what I'm saying? You have to stop assuming that, you know, your children, you've told them, or that they know. You know what I'm saying? You gotta stop assuming that. You gotta actually start having conversations. I think it's so imperative that we talk to our children. You know, it's not until, you know, unless you've really been a type of child that's very observant. Some children just live, and they think their parents are the most amazing people, have never done anything wrong in their lives, right? So I think that it's very important as parents that we tell our children the jacked up shit that we did, the things that we went through, the things that we experienced, so that they have an idea. Because a lot of times we be acting like we so perfect, and when stuff be going on in their life, it doesn't match up to what you're portraying. They don't know how to handle that. Yeah. Like, they literally don't know how to handle that. So if they don't know that you too, you know, made some mistakes and things that you've done and how you were. Not people. In my generation, I don't know what people are doing now. In my generation, they were too afraid to be friends with their children. I ain't your friend. You know what I'm saying? They were too afraid to be friends with their children that they kept this distance to where you look like this perfect person, or this person ain't never been through nothing. And here I am trying to just be a freaking teenager, you know, who has some type of same-sex attraction and don't know what to do with this. You know what I'm saying? You're not even meeting me in the middle to actually have some type of conversation. And no disrespect to my mom, you know what I'm saying? No disrespect to her at all. No disrespect to my brother, who actually was LGBT and, you know, long ago told me that he wasn't. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, what the? I need some guidance here. I need some people. No, he didn't. He didn't. And he may not even remember telling me this, but he did. We were at lunch, and I'm sitting here thinking, geez, well, that goes that damn conversation, because I'm thinking, okay, now is the time, because this is literally right before I got married. You know what I'm saying? So I'm trying to have a conversation with him, and when he said that he wasn't, you know, like, I was like, oh, okay. So now I really felt alone. Like, I really don't have anybody to talk to. But this is why I make it so important for me to be who I am around my family. You know, I make it important for the children to know who it is I am, and to allow them conversations. Yep. I do. Yep. You know, sometimes it may make it might make the people in the like the adults in the room uncomfortable, but I don't give a. Yep. Unless they, you know, not going to, like, you know, like intricate details. Like, no, we ain't gonna go there. Yeah. But you can ask me, because I believe if you bold enough to ask a question, even as a child, you bold enough to get a response. Yep. You know what I'm saying? And I've always thought like that, and I've always wanted me, and so the things that I've wanted in my life is what I'm trying to give to the children that are in my life. Yeah. Because I think it's important for them to know stuff. Yeah. Y'all trying to act like they shouldn't know anything, and then they're getting out into this world and they get all confused. No. Because it definitely exists. It exists. And what are we boxing them in for? Like, you know what I'm saying? What are we protecting them from? Like, it's very much on TV. It's very much, and we in the, like, era now where everything plays across the internet. They're going to see it. Like, you know what I'm saying? So, right, they got these questions. You know, right. Let them ask. Let them ask. You know what I'm saying? I just believe that in this life, when we talk about, like, you know, how we are showing up and how people are showing up for us, and how we are, you know, allowing different spaces. I just want to be a safe space for everybody who's in my midst, but especially children, because I felt like as a child I didn't have a safe space. You know what I'm saying? And so it's just important to me. And I want everybody to really, whatever it is that you've gone through, because this is just how I feel, and this is how I've seen it, this is how I experienced, this is what, the wisdom that has come from all of this to me, is that all of the things that you've experienced in life that were traumas are the things that you're supposed to help other people through. You know what I'm saying? And so this is why it's so important for you to get your healing so that you can help somebody else who's going through the same thing. You know what I'm saying? And so a lot of times we don't talk about those things only because, families or whatever the case may be. And here you are, I've been dealing with something, I really won't even go into the depths of it, but I've been dealing with something that I think it's time for me to share. And like a part of me is really pushing me to like share this, right? And I was talking to my partner about it, and so we've been like going through, because my thing is, if I say this, who am I going to hurt? You know what I'm saying? And how are they going to feel about this particular thing? And so I've really been giving this a lot of attention and a lot of thought, and really even going to the point of, why do I feel it necessary to tell it? And my partner was like, that is, like, I just freaking love you, because she's been thinking. I said, yeah. I said, because I have to really, when I think about it, it's, I think about each person individually, and how is this going to affect them? How is it going to affect their perception? Also, is this a space where it's going to make us depart from one another as well? Because sometimes when you tell truths, sometimes people can't receive it. You know what I'm saying? And so, like, you may be close with them, and you tell them a truth that has happened to you, and they're gone. You know what I'm saying? They don't want to believe it, or whatever the case may be. Like, however it goes. So I'm thinking about all of these particular things of sharing this information. Not so much as that like I'm trying to hurt anybody. It's not, because, and again, the things that happen to me doesn't have to happen to anybody else. You know what I'm saying? It just doesn't. And so I feel like if I'm able to share that, and we're able to talk about these things, that we're able to stop that thing from happening to anybody else. You know what I'm saying? And so I think it's very important. This is why, a lot of times my mother used to be saying when I was growing up, things that happen in this house stay in this house. Well, if you're not talking to me and he's not talking to me, like, how am I gonna deal with this that has happened to me or is happening to me? Like, where do I get the information from that I'm gonna need in order to grow from that trauma, to heal through that particular trauma? Like, where am I going to get that from if you're not helping me, and and you're telling me I can't go outside the house to get that help? You know what I'm saying? So it just becomes a different age and space. This is 2023. There should not be, like, we should not be hiding things. Like, we just really should not be hiding things, and we shouldn't be not, giving people information that could save their fucking life. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I say that physically, mentally, spiritually, all of that. Yeah. Because people are dying for a lack of knowledge. Yep. Like, they really are. Yep. So,
They said in the word, my people perish because of lack of knowledge. Walk in your truth. Walk in your truth. If it hit your spirit to share it, like, you know what I'm saying, share it. For real. Because if you don't, how is they going to eat you up?
Yeah. Because I was saying to her, I said, how does it feel for people? Because I just, I'm deep thinking. I go in a whole rabbit hole and will go through that mug and come back out. I was like, how do people feel going to their grave with secrets? Like, I wonder how that literally feels to be on your deathbed and know something. This is why a lot of times, too, people who are dying tell everything. I was watching this this video on Facebook of this nurse, and she said that there was this older guy, older, I think it was an older man. I was about to say woman. For some reason, I don't know. But anyway, it seems like there was this older man that he was in this nursing home, and like nobody ever came to visit him. Like his kids, he had kids. His kids never came to visit him. And she was saying how that when people don't, like children don't visit their parents, like those were some fucked up parents. Like they were really jacked up parents. But then she said too that she's had a lot of old people that when they died, and this lady right before she died told the story to the nurse that she had said, there was an older white lady, and she had said that when she was younger that this black boy tried to touch her, and it did not happen, and they lynched him and did all this stuff to him, and she was wondering if she was going to be forgiven. She was literally on her deathbed. The nurse told her the only person that could forgive you is that boy. Basically, he dead, so your ass is not gonna get no forgiveness. You know what I'm saying? And so I just wonder how hard is that for people to go to their deathbed with like secrets? Like, you really, you know what I mean? Anyway, that's a whole other story. But yeah, in this space when we trying to figure out what our lives are supposed to be, I think a lot of trauma and different things happen to people who are supposed to be fucking great. Like they are supposed to go through they're supposed to have like, or be something amazing, almost Jesus-like. Like seriously, I be thinking when a lot of people have gone through, or when a person has gone through a lot of different trauma, we get stuck in the trauma itself. But I think that we're supposed to heal and grow from it, and that's how we transcend our lives. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And so a lot of that to me is being able to talk about certain things. Yeah. And so, people might look at me and say, well, why is she talking about that? Or why is she, lately I've really been telling things about me and me specifically. Because a lot of times people will think that you have never gone through anything, or that you never, like everything you do is always perfect. No, I fuck up.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Still do sometimes.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? I just try to figure out how not to do that again. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So all of it is life, and in between that space of life and death, like how you want to not only be perceived, but how you want to be perceived by yourself. What makes you feel good?
Yep. That's to the like what makes you feel good. And so it's like I told my family, I was like, it's a lot of things that I feel convicted about. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, my sexuality is not one of them. I was like, I'm like, so all this, like for real, like, cause they will condemn you straight to hell. Like, you know what I'm saying? And you gotta make your peace with God and all that shit. What you gonna do with your dash? And luckily, like, I don't have no secrets that I'm like ashamed of. That if I die today, I'll be like, I'm going to hell for that shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? That feel good to live a life like that. And it's like, I know if I murder somebody, I know if I steal something from somebody, I know if I lie to somebody I love, just, whatever, I feel convicted for those things. You know what I'm saying? But conviction really do live on reign in your heart, man. Like, you know what I mean? And so it's like when you die, I think people make peace because they don't want to go to hell, the hell that they have in their mind. Like, you know what I'm saying? But my thing is, though, you've been in hell all while you've been living. Because your mind been consumed with these bones you got in your closet. Like, you know what I'm saying? And so it just depends on, how you look at death. Like, you know what I mean? Like, when you transcend, you go back into being energy. Like, you know what I'm saying? If you believe in reincarnation or whatever you're going to develop into, I don't think it's no fiery place. Like, you know what I'm saying? Waiting on us with a pitchfork. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't believe that. I believe, like, hell is on earth. Like, you know what I'm saying? Hell, the heaven is in your brain. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like your hell is in your brain. So, at that point, when you on your deathbed, when you feel like, oh, I'm making peace, God gonna forgive me, God confess my sins, the divine already know what you did. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, if now the time you decide to confess, like, And now you want to ask for forgiveness? Like, no, baby girl, like, and I just feel like, you know what I mean? And I just really want to make it clear, like, it say in the word, like, even though you study my word, that still don't mean you gonna get in the gates if you have not done the deeds. Like, you know what I'm saying? So you laying there on your deathbed talking about forgive me. God counting deeds. You know what I'm saying? What deeds did you do? Like, if you believe in that. So I think it's some psychological shit based on what you've been taught, that when you ask, then you gonna be forgiven.
Right.
And I don't think it worked like that at all. Like, you know what I'm saying? And also too, like, in death they say, you know, you come back if you don't get it right.
Let's talk about that. Let's talk about that.
Like, you gotta come back to this bitch. Like, like, if you don't get it right to live your karma all out and all over again.
Right. So the reason why I want to talk about that too is because, okay, and we about to get real deep. I want you to think about this. So let's say this lifetime I was a hellraiser. Like, I lynched people. I did all kind of shit to people. Like, I've done all kind of things, right? So if there is such a thing called karmic debt, and I died, right? And then we believe in reincarnation. When I'm reincarnated and I have to deal with the sins from the last lifetime. So when I come into this lifetime, even as a child, let's say I get molested, let's say I get raped, let's say all this horrible shit happened to me as a child. A lot of times, now listen, a lot of people ain't gonna like what I'm getting ready to say, but if that were to be true, if we believe in reincarnation and we believe in karmic debt, then that means that children who come into this world that deal with a lot are dealing with their trauma. They're not, first and foremost, let's not look at them as children, because your spirit has been here since forever. So you 1,000,000 years old just in this child's body, right? So this child is this soul that's in this body is dealing with karmic debt from the last time that they were here. So they go through all this different trauma that happened. We look at them, we're like, oh, poor baby, poor this, poor that, because you dealt with all these things, not really realizing if we want to say that there's karmic debt, if we want to say that there's reincarnation, that person or that soul did something last time in that particular life that they have to pay their karmic retribution for in this life.
Yeah, that's heavy. And you know what? It's a story that I was listening to. It was a white boy, little white boy. He was saying he used to be a girl. And his mama and them, they like, whatever. They ain't really think about it because you just trying to find yourself right now, little Timmy. Like, you know what I'm saying? But he was like, when I was here before, you know what I'm saying? I used to like that. My hair used to be like this. I used to do. And so his mama started paying attention and was like, you keep talking about this. Like, you know what I'm saying? So they was, I think it was a magazine or a building that it was looking at. And he was like, I used to live there. When I used to be a girl, I used to live in that building. She said he's never, like, he don't even be around, like, those type of neighborhoods, like, didn't have no, like, black friends, didn't, like, how can he know, like, this building? So that's what really made, like, her investigate the building and the story and all that. And somehow she got in touch with the people that stayed in the building or apartment or something, and he said that they had put out this book, because he was saying that he was a girl, and he was like, who were you last lifetime? And he pointed directly to the picture or whatever. The lady jumped out the window of the building, created suicide, and the things that he was describing about her that he remembered, like, you know what I'm saying, he was like, I was her last lifetime pretty much, and she reincarnated, per to say, to a white boy, a white kid, like, you know what I'm saying, just to speak to, we do come back, like, you know what I'm saying. And so while you out here, lynching people, or, like, you know what I'm saying, got hatred in your heart, rapists, pedophiles, like, all of that, and you get served that back, I really do be like, they're like, babies don't deserve this, they don't deserve that, and I really do be thinking, like, How you know though?
Right.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like you said, like you have empathy because it's a child.
Right.
Like, but
At the same
at
time.
the same time, like, cause it was a story. This little boy just shot his mama in the eye because she ain't buy him something off of Amazon. He killed her, then went on Amazon and ordered the thing off her car and sat there and played the game. Like, you know what I'm saying? He tried to set the house on fire before, and like he drugged the dog by the tail. Like in his younger years, he wasn't even 10. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, he got some type of spirit in him. Like, you know what I'm saying? For you to just be this young and this demonic, like, why are you like this? Like, you know what I'm saying? So I really do think we come back until we get it right, and I do believe we got to pay that karmic debt off.
Yeah, it get deep when you really start thinking about things that you learn, because otherwise, a lot of parents are really starting to realize that their children have been here before. You know, we say it all in the black community. We say that all the time. He done been here before. She done been here before. You know what I'm saying? As you know, colloquialism, or just, you know, a figure of speech. But we know, if you're really saying something like that and you really pay attention to what you're saying, you have to believe in reincarnation. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have to believe in reincarnation, because you can look at a lot of children that have, you know, that are very wise, you know, and they can tell you certain things. Some parents get afraid of that. Don't be afraid of your children when they start talking about stuff like that. Like, don't think that something is wrong with them and be trying to send them to therapists who don't believe in stuff, and then your kid is on some kind of medication. And, you know, that is a blessing to be able to remember the last lifetime. Because if I wish I could remember the last time. Man, you tell me all the wrongs, I'll be writing them. You know what I'm saying? I'll be writing whatever wrongs that I had done in the past, so that I can go to whatever the next level is. You know what I'm saying? Because eventually it's not here. You know, eventually, evidently it's not here. And when you read different books and, you know, talking about higher worlds, this is supposed to be Earth, this is supposed to be the lowest level. You know what I'm saying? And so if we have to keep coming back here, and I can't stand repetition, like, this is getting on my nerves.
Yeah, I feel you. Just projecting to what I feel like the future is going to be like, I don't want to return to that. Like, you know what I'm saying? We move out of industrial time into the age of information. Like, you know what I'm saying? Things are about to be very advanced, like, you know what I mean? And so, like, we're gonna be losing touch of nature, losing touch of, like, you know what I'm saying, just connecting with source through, you know, trees, grass, all of that. The older knowledge is, like, kind of phasing out, and I don't want to come back. I don't. Like, I really don't. I want to send to the next level too.
Yeah, so I see Earth as a different space. I always see things as an opportunity, and I think Earth right now has the opportunity, of course, an advancement, because we are at the lowest level. You know what I'm saying? Think about when we sit here, there should be more people that we're able to connect with. It shouldn't just be me and you. It shouldn't be just me, you, and Tribe. It shouldn't be me, you, Tribe, my partner. It should be more people that I'm able to connect with in this way. Not just, you know, like I gotta go on the internet to connect with them, but I should be able to go outside and connect with people in that very same way. And so this is a space of lower levels, but I believe that as the Earth itself is evolving, that people are evolving. That's why in this particular age, the age of information, there's so much information out there for us. If you're looking now, more people know about crystals than they did. You know what I'm saying? More people know about spirituality than they did. You know, more people are coming up out of the hold from organized religion, because we're no longer in the age of Pisces. The age of Pisces was about all that religious, you know, everything being hidden. You know, because Pisces, you know, ruled by the planet of Neptune, it's hidden things. It's things that are done in the dark. It's prisons, it's all that type of stuff. So then when we get to the age of Aquarius, it's all about that information. So all those things that was, hidden for us so long, where people, thinking Jesus, you know what I'm saying? Jesus was in the Middle East, you know what I'm saying? In Africa, you know what I'm saying? And so all of this information is now coming up and coming out. There's a lot of information because there had to be a time for it. You know what I'm saying? Every age and everything that it goes through a cycle, because that's what's necessary for that time. So we're getting into a state of a higher evolution, because Aquarius is the highest octave of knowledge and information and wisdom. So the age of Aquarius, we get into that other level, that highest level of information, of spirituality. Everything is going to be from a different space. And so, having that particular knowledge and understanding that. So when we come into these spaces of talking about life and death, and we're talking about how we want to be perceived and how we want to, live out that dash between, the thing, all I can say is that I wanna have been growing at every stage.
Yep.
I want to have been growing at every stage. I want the knowledge and the wisdom that I have, that whatever legacy that I leave on to my grandbabies, to my great nieces and nephews, that they're able to pull upon that and use whatever they can. Because again, the knowledge that they have right now is not the knowledge that I had when I was their age. You know what I'm saying? And so them coming into this space in this time, they, have the opportunities of being, the highest levels of shamans and gurus and, whatever, but so do all the people that they are in contact with too. So as the earth elevates, the people on it have to elevate, or they will fall off and die. You know what I'm saying? And so, anyway, that's my spiel, and that's what I'm sticking to. So this has really been a great conversation.
Always is, Trey.
Always is. So, whew, y'all, these next few videos, you're gonna see us with the same thing. We're taping them all on the same day, because we got a bunch of stuff that we gotta do. So we decided not to change clothes. So
we ain't out here in the mud. We ain't dirty.
Different day, but same outfit. No, just no, this the same day, same outfit. Well, we thank you guys for watching the show.
Most definitely. Make sure y'all hit the subscribe button for us, y'all, so y'all can get that notification when we drop some more videos for y'all, drop some gems.
All right,
we see y'all next time. Peace out.
Thanks for listening to today's show. You can watch the show on our YouTube channel or listen in every first and third Sundays at 12 p.m. on all major podcast platforms.